Penguin Random House Audio presents Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. Read for you by Cassandra Campbell and Alex Mckenna.
For my brother. I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world. I may not complete this last one, but I give myself to it. I circle around God, around the primordial tower. I've been circling for thousands of years, and I still don't know. Am I a falcon, a storm, or a great song? Rainer Maria Rilke, The Book of Hours. If you were to put a blade through any sphere and divide it into two perfect halves, the circumference of the cut side of each half would be a great circle. That is, the largest circle that can be drawn on a sphere. The equator is a great circle. So is every line of longitude. On the surface of a sphere such as the Earth, the shortest distance between any 2 points will follow an arc that is a segment of a great circle. Points directly opposite each other, like the North and South poles, are intersected by an infinite number of great circles. Little America 3, Ross Ice Shelf, Antarctica, March 4th, 1950. Final entry from The Sea, the Sky, the Birds Between, the Lost Logbook of Marian Graves. Published by D. Wenceslas and Sons, New York, 1959. I was born to be a wanderer. I was shaped to the earth like a seabird to a wave. Some birds fly until they die. I have made a promise to myself. My last descent won't be the tumbling, helpless kind, but a sharp gannet plunge. A dive with intent, aimed at something deep in the sea. I'm about to depart. I will try to pull the circle up from below, bringing the end to meet the beginning. I wish the line were a smooth meridian, a perfect taut hoop, but our course was distorted by necessity. The indifferent distribution of islands and airfields, the plane's need for fuel. I don't regret anything, but I will if I let myself. I can think only about the plane, the wind and the shore, so far away, where land begins again. The weather is improving. We've fixed the leak as best we can. I will go soon. I hate the never-ending day. The sun circles me like a vulture. I want a respite of stars. Circles are wondrous because they are endless. Anything endless is wondrous. But endlessness is torture, too. I knew the horizon could never be caught, but still chased it. What I have done is foolish. I had no choice but to do it. It isn't how I thought it would be, now that the circle is almost closed. The beginning and end held apart by one last fearsome piece of water. I thought I would believe I'd seen the world, but there is too much of the world and too little of life. I thought I would believe I'd completed something, but now I doubt anything can be completed. I thought I would not be afraid. I thought I would become more than I am. But instead, I know I am less than I thought. No one should ever read this. My life is my one possession. And yet, and yet, and yet.
Los Angeles, December 2014. I only knew about Marian Graves because one of my uncle's girlfriends liked to dump me at the library when I was a kid. And one time I picked up a random book called something like Brave Ladies of the Sky. My parents had gone up in a plane and never come back. And it turned out a decent percentage of the brave ladies had met the same fate. That got my attention. I think I might have been looking for someone to tell me a plane crash wasn't such a bad way to go. Though if anyone actually ever had, I would have thought they were full of shit. Marian's chapter said she'd been raised by her uncle. And when I read that, I got goosebumps because I was being raised, kind of, by my uncle. A nice librarian dug up Marian's book for me, The Sea, the Sky, etc. And I pored over it like an astrologist consulting a star chart, hopeful that Marian's life would somehow explain my own, tell me what to do and how to be. Most of what she wrote went over my head, though I did come away with a vague aspiration to turn my loneliness into adventure. On the first page of my diary, I wrote, "I was born to be a wanderer," in big block letters. Then I didn't write anything else because how do you follow that up when you're 10 years old and spend all your time either at your uncle's house in Van Nuys or auditioning for television commercials? After I returned the book, I pretty much forgot about Marian. Almost all of the brave ladies of the sky are forgotten, really. There was the occasional spooky TV special about Marian in the 80s, and a handful of die-hard Marian enthusiasts are still out there spinning theories on the internet. But she didn't stick the way Amelia Earhart did. People at least think they know about Amelia Earhart, even though they don't. It's not really possible. The fact that I got ditched at the library so often turned out to be a good thing, because while other kids were at school, I was sitting in a succession of folding chairs in a succession of hallways at every casting call in the greater Los Angeles area for little white girls, or little race unspecified girls, which also means white, chaperoned by a succession of nannies and girlfriends of my Uncle Mitch, two categories that sometimes overlapped. I think the girlfriends sometimes offered to take care of me because they wanted him to see them as maternal, which they thought would make them seem like wife material. But that wasn't actually a great strategy for keeping the flame alive with old Mitch. When I was 2, my parents' Cessna crashed into Lake Superior. Or that's the assumption. No trace was ever found. My dad, Mitch's brother, was flying, and they were on their way to a romantic getaway at some friend's middle-of-nowhere backwoods cabin to, as Mitch put it, reconnect. Even when I was little, he told me that my mother wouldn't quit fucking around. His words. I'm not sure Mitch believed in childhood. But they wouldn't quit each other either, he'd say. Mitch definitely believed in taglines. He'd started out directing cheesy TV movies with titles like Love Takes a Toll. That was about a toll collector. And Murder for Valentine's Day. Take a wild guess. My parents had left me with a neighbor in Chicago, but their last will and testament left me to Mitch. There wasn't really anyone else. No other aunts or uncles, and my grandparents were a combination of dead, estranged, absent, and untrustworthy. Mitch wasn't a bad guy, but his instincts were of the opportunistic, Hollywoodian variety. So after he'd had me a few months, he called in a favor to get me cast in an applesauce commercial. Then he found my agent, Siobhan, and I got consistent enough work in commercials and guest spots in TV movies. I played the daughter in Murder for Valentine's Day. That I can't remember a time I wasn't acting or trying to. It seemed like normal life. Putting a plastic pony in a plastic stable over and over while cameras rolled and some grown-up stranger told you how to smile. When I was 11, after Mitch had stepping stoned from movies of the week to music videos and was white-knuckle climbing into the indie film world, I got my proverbial big break. The role of Katie McGee in a time travel cable sitcom for kids called The Big Time Life of Katie McGee. On set, my life was squeaky clean and candy-colored. All puns and tidy plot lines and 3-walled rooms under a hot sky of Klieg lights. I hammed it up to a braying laugh track while wearing outfits so extravagantly trendy I looked like a manifestation of the tween zeitgeist. When I
Sample complete. Ready to continue?